Hey everyone, and welcome. I'm your host Cobalt, and I've been absolutely addicted to Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time. Fighting, farming, crafting, day and night. After 100 hours, I've learned so much, and I'm still learning. This video is going to be the top 10 things I wish I knew when I was starting Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time. Let's get it. Story and pacing. Your adventure, your speed. Fantasy Life I offers fantastic main story, but also presents you with a ginormous amount of side projects. My first tip is figure out how you want to approach this. Feeling limited? Progress the story. The gameplay feels polished and well balanced in this game, so if you ever feel like something is clunky or limited, chances are you need to advance the main storyline. The story often gates new mechanics, areas, and even some life abilities. So if you're feeling stuck, push that narrative forward. I had a friend of mine ask me why the SP stamina system felt so clunky, and the answer was simple. He hadn't progressed in a skill tree enough. Hadn't unlocked the buddy system yet, which both vastly changed the way I interact with my SP consumption in the game. Want a slow burn? Engage deeply. On the flip side, if you're loving the journey and don't want to rush, embrace the slow burn. At each stage of the story, take the time to explore every nook and cranny. Engage with all the available life systems. Go fishing, cook up a storm, craft some new gear, decorate your island. There's no right or wrong way, but understand how story progression unlocks content that can help you tailor your experience to your liking. The game has a lot of systems, and once you can access all of them, they work together wonderfully to create an amazing experience. But also, don't feel pressure to mainline the story if you're having fun with the sandbox elements. Try every life from the start. This game is all about diverse lives, or jobs, and trust me on this one, try them all out as soon as you can. You might go in thinking you'll only be a mercenary or a cook, but you could discover a hidden passion for being an angler or an alchemist. Each life has its own rewards. Maybe you'll find something you didn't know you enjoy. More importantly, every life ends up being integral to your progression. Resources gathered by one life are often crucial for crafting in another. Skills learned in one might complement another. For example, a paladin needs good armor, which a blacksmith makes, who in turn needs ores from a miner. Getting a feel for each life early on will give you a much better understanding of the game's economy and how everything intertwines. You'd be surprised how often you'll be switching between them to gather specific materials or complete certain quests. Besides, by the game's end, you'll need all of them in some capacity anyway. And it's quite the pain to be holding up progression because from early on you decided you didn't need to do tailoring. No, I'm not speaking from experience or anything. Don't sleep on Gynormosia. Alright, let's talk about something big. Literally, Gynormosia. This section of the game feels like a whole different experience. Open world and explorable, it offers some of the best gear in the game, exclusive mounts, and more. Not only that, but this region has a completely different currency, its own system to level up the region, changing what each area has to offer, and it's a fantastic time in multiplayer. So don't just blow by it thinking you don't want what it has to offer. I kinda did that at first and ended up regretting it. For optimal progress, level all lives together. This might sound a bit daunting, but hear me out. While you can certainly focus on one or two lives, leveling all of them somewhat concurrently offers significant advantages. As mentioned earlier, lives are interconnected. Leveling your gathering lives like miner, woodcutter, and angler will ensure you will always have the materials you need for leveling your crafting lives like blacksmith, carpenter, cook, and alchemist. Your combat lives will benefit from the gear you craft and the stat boost from the consumables you create. Not to mention the fact that resources from lives you may not expect could be needed. For example, art often requires fish. Why? I don't know. Each life follows a somewhat identical progression that is actually tied to the areas in the game. So if you look at all of the life challenges for each gathering life, the first tier can all be found on the first island. The next tier will subsequently be found on the second island, and so on and so forth. So if you're doing adept woodcutter tasks, those resources can probably be found where the adept mining resources are, and will most likely be guarded by monsters you need to slay for the adept combat life challenges. And those monsters will drop materials needed for the adept tier of crafting lives. Island rank matters. Place those items. Your island isn't just a pretty place to call home, it's a system in and of itself, and your island rank is key. Increasing your island rank increases the number of Celestia's gifts that you will find on your island, as well as other rewards you will need in the endgame. In addition to that, it'll help you progress your island bulletin board, which can unlock other decorations and recipes. Even if you're not heavily into detailed-oriented decoration, Make sure you're placing items down. And you don't have to be an interior design guru. Just placing down furniture, decorations, and functional items you craft or acquire will contribute to your island rank. Pay attention to how you design your island. Once I saw an island that was almost entirely water, and at first I was confused. A little bit of land that was there felt cluttered and chaotic, but I realized the beauty in its design. It meant that there was less land for the Celestia's gifts to spawn. However, the island's rank was still high, causing the max amount of gifts to spawn in a small area, making harvesting them easy for visitors. Absolute genius. I ended up doing something similar with my island, without compromising the free space too much. Pay attention to your buddies. You won't be adventuring alone in Fantasy Life I. Your buddies are crucial allies, so don't neglect them. Gear them up. Just like you, your buddies can equip gear. Giving them better weapons and armor significantly increases their effectiveness in combat, and even their survivability. But even more importantly, EXP buffs and item drop chance stats on items affect you too, allowing you to tune your buddies into powerful tools for progression. This is a common strategy for endgame farming. Understand their different synergies. Different buddies have different skills and specialties. Some are great attackers, others are healers, and some might provide useful buff. This is standard and you probably expected this, but more importantly, each buddy has their own particular set of skills. For example, Sloan has an affinity for Earth Element, so don't equip him with a Shadow Staff. Odin and Demon are most effective as a pair, so you probably shouldn't use them alone. Understand the different types of buddies and their pros and cons. Gathering buddies can help you gather quicker, but can sometimes cause you to lose out on excellent strikes. Battle buddies are useful when you're up for a hard fight, but not all that necessary. And crafting buddies can restore your SP while you gather, as well as help you craft, so pick the right buddy for the right situation. Remake gear and craft for optimal stats. Crafting isn't just about making an item once and forgetting about it. There's depth here. When you craft gear, you can often get varying quality levels and bonus stats. Don't be afraid to remake pieces of gear multiple times, especially important weapons or armor, to try to get those optimal stats. That extra bit of attack power or defense can make a huge difference. And when I say remake, I mean the remake mechanic, not just making more and more items until you have an entire inventory full of the same glasses. This system allows you to increase the quality of an item and select what bonus stats it has, allowing you to keep the old ones if the new ones aren't what you would like. This leads me to my next point. Specialized gear sets. Think beyond just your main combat set. Craft gear sets with specific bonuses. An EXP upset can make leveling your lives much faster. An item drop rate upset is invaluable when farming rare materials. And of course, a dedicated combat set is great for tackling tough bosses. You can even make crafting sets dedicated to specific lives or just crafting in general. Crafting gear for your buddies with these specialized stats in mind is also a pro move, since some special stats on items also affect you directly, like the EXP up and item drop rate chance up that I mentioned earlier. But keep in mind, certain stats can only come on certain items, so don't hold out for item drop rate up on that weapon of yours. Exploits or intended mechanics. Okay, let's touch on something that's always comes up in games like this. Exploits. Think easy money farming spots or quick ways to gather rare resources like mysterious slates. While some methods might feel a bit cheesy, many so-called exploits in Fantasy Life often revolve around understanding and maximizing game systems. For example, you can farm mysterious slates by resetting monster house rooms in treasure grottos. This definitely comes off as an exploit. However, some people have reported not getting their desired recipe after as many as 1,500 slates. So sometimes, a bit of cheese may help your grind. Use these responsibly, or don't. Whether you choose to use these methods is up to you. Some players love optimizing and finding these fast tracks. Others prefer a more organic grind. It's worth noting that sometimes developers are aware of these loops, and they can be to some extent intended to reward observant players, or provide catch-up mechanisms. If you find gathering and farming method, use it to your advantage if you wish, but just know it doesn't break the game, it just accelerates certain aspects. The core of Fantasy Life is broad, and don't let farming overshadow everything else, unless that's your jam. Play online. Fantasy Life I has robust online multiplayer, and engaging with it offers some tangible benefits. More blue flowers. Blue flowers are a special currency known as Celestia's Gift that is necessary for reverting strangelings to their human form, enhancing buddies, buying specific items, and specific recipes. While you are invited to someone's island, you can harvest their island's Celestia's Gifts just like you would on your own island. And you can do this every time you go to an island that is not yours, up to a daily cap of 1,000 gifts. Faster groves and Gynomosia progress. Tackling challenging groves and progressing your Gynomosia ranks are often much faster and more efficient with a group of real players. You can cover more ground, deal more damage, and revive each other, leading to quicker clears and better loot distribution. If you're looking to power through some of the tougher content or farm specific materials from these activities, hopping online is a great option. Play your way to have the most fun. This is without a doubt the most important tip of all. Fantasy Life I is a game designed around freedom and choice. While all of these tips are meant to help you optimize and understand the systems, don't let them dictate how you must play. Embrace what you love. If you want to spend 50 hours just fishing and cooking, do it. Just understand that that's not going to progress you through the game. It's simply going to be you fishing and cooking. If you want to dedicate yourself to mastering Paladin and conquering every combat challenge, go for it. If your joy comes from meticulously decorating your island, then that's your path. The beauty of Fantasy Life I is that it's flexible. These tips are tools, not rules. Use them to enhance your enjoyment, not to create a rigid checklist. Unless you want a rigid checklist. Oh, and one more bonus tip. Play around with the controls on different menus. Seriously, it took me over 105 hours to realize that each life has 10 separate equipment loadouts you can save if you just press start when you're in the equipment screen. 105 hours to learn that. I hope these pointers help you on your adventure. Which tip do you find most helpful? Do you have any tips of your own? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want more Fantasy Life I content, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching.